Chairshot Reality, WrestleZone.com, Justin LaBar, Brian Goulsh, special guest introducing Ronell Hunt, independent professional wrestler based here in Western Pennsylvania.
Much better looking on my left shoulder than Josh Eisenberg.
I'm trying to style and profile, brother, man. Woo!
You trump him, you trump him, you trump him.
Appreciate it, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Mr. Hunt, welcome to the set, and let's jump right into it. Let's talk the entire weekend. This includes from start to finish, whatever you saw that was televised. It was a huge weekend. Biggest debut for you, most impressive, most enjoyable.
Woo, well, I mean, we got a lot of things to look at. When you look at things, we got so many things to look at. We have NXT TakeOver, we have WrestleMania, then we had a couple surprises on Raw. I would say, let's jump to the end of the weekend. Look at Raw. Baron Corbin, he is my man.
Yeah.
He is my man to make that debut. You see a lot of guys, they come in woo-wah on the mic. He comes in, he wants to take care of business. We see that, you know, he let his anger get to him a little bit, but at the end of it, he wanted to take care of business, and we had to try to do some things. So,
you know, when Zack Ryder won that IC title at WrestleMania, I was like, okay, this had to be a last-minute decision, and the only thing I could think, if they're making a last-minute decision, it's not because they want a lengthy title run for Ryder, but it's because they want to get the pop of that and put some heat on somebody to beat him the next night.
Yeah.
I thought Corbin would be it. I was wrong. It ended up being The Miz, but I thought Baron Corbin would have been a great choice after winning that Battle Royal.
Exactly.
I'm gonna say you're coming in hot here. You damn sure ain't coming in. You damn sure ain't coming in SAWFT soft. Because if you ask me, Cass and Enzo were the big story of the weekend. We started Friday with NXT TakeOver, a great show in my mind, better than the actual WrestleMania card itself. We're not talking about just NXT. We're talking about the best part of the weekend. And for me, Enzo and Cass hit that promo like not too many could hit a debut promo, similar to Jericho and Rock way back when. But what coming out and Enzo just dripping into the Dudley Boys, it was something special. And man, the excitement, I'm already ready to see him next week.
What did he say? Your face is so ugly. Your tears go backwards.
Yeah.
I think, how you doing?
I think we got a few things here, but let's go back to Enzo and them. Yeah, they're good on the mic. Yeah, but we see it a lot of times with a lot of phenomenal people. Can they perform? There's a difference between going from NXT, now you got to step up. You're at the grown men leagues. It's almost like playing football. You play baseball, you do high school, it gets picked up in college. You take college, it gets picked up when you go to MLB, NFL. Do you think that they can back up everything? Now, mind you, they're starting now, coming in with a debut with the Dudleys.
Yeah.
The Dudleys. We're talking about Team 3D has been all over the world gaining gold after gold. And to really drop a bomb like that, they have to back it up.
And
now.
they're going to back it up. But here's my thing with that. The thing that WWE is going to have success with in this tag team is they are letting their personality out. The wrestlers, the stars, the Rocks, the Steve Austins, the Jerichos, it's because it's their personality. It's not fake. It's not made up backstage. They own their character. And I mentioned it earlier, I wish Roman Reigns would own his character like these guys do, because that's how you own a character. That's how you make an impact. And that's how you have a future in the WWE.
Well, and for Enzo and Big Cass, one of the best things they have going for them, obviously, because you're right, doing Monday Night Raw's crowd after Mania, you're at a bit of an advantage because that's the crowd that's watching you in NXT.
Oh, yeah.
Let's see what happens when we start going to, you know, some of the smaller towns that aren't as NXT friendly. But the best thing Enzo and Big Cass have going for them is that the entertainment demographic that is Raw and SmackDown, which is obviously more entertainment based than the wrestling NXT. Those fans, those younger fans, they love anything that they can say along with you. So having that entrance is a big...
It's like the Road Dogg
and
Billy
big,
Gunn.
You know, I always say Adam Rose, Tyler Breeze, those characters, unfortunately, they were great in the small environments of NXT. They didn't quite connect with, you know, Little Johnny or Little Susie. They didn't understand what the Exotic Express was, you know. I mean, they really care about, you know, a guy taking selfies. Enzo and Big Cass, I was really thinking about going with that one because that was so entertaining to watch. But the one thing I got to say that tops it, my debut. I wasn't even expecting to go to NXT Friday. I got a nice last-minute hook. Thank you, you know who you are. Nakamura.
Yes.
I'm gonna say now. I know I'm gonna get some grief right here for this. But what I'm about to say, I'd only seen about 3 matches of this guy. I'd heard about him. I've seen about 3 matches via YouTube. So I was going in really fresh. And I'll tell you, man, there's a few times in wrestling when you watch somebody come out, especially for a first time, and you just have that feeling of like, wow, this guy's something, and I had that I'm not even trying to impersonate him, but just the
swagger. I think that's the best
swagger.
The
swagger.
Old Spice, man. Old
The
Spice
swagger,
commercial.
but then he can still kick your ass. I mean, it's fantastic.
So
Nakamura.
So we'll go. So that's great. I think NXT, that was the best thing going. but look at Apollo Crews. I think Apollo Crews made a good impression. I don't know why they used Tyler Breeze. They could have used anybody else in the back.
Well, he's disposable.
He is disposable.
And they've worked together enough times.
They might have worked, yeah, but it was a 3-minute match, and he did his 2 big moves. He gorilla pressed the backflip. He was done.
But you know, if you're Apollo Crews and you're going to have your first time on Monday Night Raw, you want somebody you're going to be comfortable with, and he's worked Tyler countless times.
I don't know. Personally, if it were me, I would love. I think Apollo Crews, with his smile, his mentality, his look, would fit in perfect with the New Day.
You know, this always comes up with conversation. Somebody asked me, and it was funny when they asked me. I'd already was talking about it earlier with somebody. It always comes up about WWE and having a black world champion, and they don't count The Rock as black. They don't. I don't know if you do. I don't know if you do, but they don't count The Rock as black. And when Apollo Crews did his bit, and I just saw everybody connected to him, and I had seen quite a bit of him, Indies and NXT. I turned to somebody and said, I know it's only one night, but man, do you not feel confident that he has a chance to go to the top?
Think of how fast he marched through the NXT system. He's less than a year in. I believe it wasn't but late last spring that he was brought in on WWE. All Nation brought in, and all of a sudden, and then bam, he's here. I was not expecting.
But people need to keep this. People need to keep this in mind, though. Enzo Big Cass, Apollo Crews, Baron Corbin. I don't think the Vaudevillains. I don't think this is a mass exodus from NXT. I would not be surprised if half of them still stay in NXT for a couple months, because we've seen that double duty crossover. Kevin Owens did it for all last summer, so I don't think all of them are leaving NXT right away. I just think it's. I mean, they're going to pull double duty, which that's more ring reps, it's more money. I mean,
and it's not in the script, but I want to ask both of you, because I think this is how we can eventually insert Triple H back into Monday Night Raw in the storyline. If Shane is going to run Raw, who is going to come in and want his spot back? Triple H. Who's going to help him do that? His NXT roster. That's how I would bring back Triple H. That's how I would plan it. Not saying a takeover of Raw, but Triple H sees 3 or 4 guys who come up. Give him that push. Give him that Triple H backing.
Does that make Triple H a babyface? Or does it depend on what NXT guys he uses?
Exactly. It depends on what NXT guys he uses. But it doesn't matter. No babyface, no heels. You're just having Shane versus Triple H.
But do you think
that should have been Mania in the first place? Maybe.
You think at the same time NXT is so hot at this point in time, it doesn't matter if you're bringing a face or a heel from NXT. You cross them over, and you're bringing them to the big leagues. You're naturally going to get a pop.
Yeah.
I mean,
you are. And for everybody out there, listen. I'll be the first to admit I wasn't really thrilled with the WrestleMania card. I'll give it maybe a 6 out of 10 overall. But it's more about WrestleMania. It's not about the matches. It's not.
Someone give it a glass.
Glasses.
Wait, no, Brad gave it a.
My point being is that WrestleMania from Friday to Monday is about the spectacle. It's the Super Bowl of sports entertainment. It's not about carrying over the next year. It's about closing last year and really getting 100,000 people, probably 150,000, not including those who didn't go in, who just came in from around the world. That's your wrestling universe. No other company can do that.
It's the money-making business, no matter what anybody might tell you. That's going to do it here for the week. I want to thank everybody for joining us again. Big thanks to everybody, Sherlock's Pub, Blake Mitchell-Moore, Wrestle Rumble, Matt Hardy. It was such a fantastic weekend last year, and everybody last weekend. Everybody that came out, we appreciate it. Again, our largest CSR pre-Mania party ever. We've been doing it now for 6 years, and that was several hundred people. Fantastic. We're already making plans for Orlando, so we might rent out Disney World. You never know. Ron Hunt, Brian Goulas, Just LeBar. We'll see you next week.